Your job may be paying your bills right now, but if one paycheck is the only thing standing between you and financial stress, that is not freedom. And let me be clear from the beginning. I'm not telling you to quit your job. I'm not telling you to walk away from your career. I'm not telling you to make some reckless decision just because you're tired, you're frustrated, or ready for something different. What I am saying is this: one paycheck should not be your whole plan. Because if the only source of income you have is tied to one employer, one position, one contract, one customer, or even one opportunity, then you may have income, but you do not have options. And in this season, options matter. Jobs are changing, industries are changing, technology is changing, the economy is changing, and a lot of people are realizing that what felt secure 5 or 10 years ago may not necessarily feel secure anymore. So in this video, I want to walk you through 3 moves you can begin making to build more options without quitting your job. So let's dive in. Hi guys, my name is Shakita Robertson. A lot of working professionals are in a difficult place right now. They have a job, but they feel financially stretched. They may be making more money than they used to make, but they still feel like there's not enough margin. They are responsible, they are hardworking, they are showing up every day, they are doing what they're supposed to do. But deep down, they feel like they are one unexpected bill, one job change, one company decision, or even one financial emergency away from being in a difficult place. And that is why this conversation matters, because freedom does not always start with walking away. Sometimes freedom starts with preparation. Sometimes freedom starts with clarity. Sometimes freedom starts with realizing that God may have already placed something in your hands that you have not fully recognized, developed, or even monetized just yet. So let's talk about the 3 moves. The first move is this: stop confusing income with freedom. A paycheck gives you income, and income is important. We need income. We have to pay our bills. We have responsibilities. We have families. We have things that we must take care of. So this is not about dishonoring your job or acting like a paycheck doesn't matter, because it does. All right. A steady paycheck can absolutely be a blessing, but income and freedom are not the same thing. You can have income and still feel trapped. You can have income and still feel like you cannot make a move. You can have income and still feel like every decision is controlled by your bills, your debt, your schedule, your employer, your fear of losing what you have. And this is where many people are right now. They are working, but they do not feel free. They are earning, but they do not feel secure. They are showing up every day, but deep down, they know they need more options. So the first shift is this: stop saying, I need more money, and start asking, how can I build more options? Because sometimes the problem is not only how much money is coming in, sometimes the problem is that all of it is coming in from one place. Your job can be a part of your financial plan, but it should not be the entire financial plan. Your job can help fund your next level, but it should not be the only thing that you depend on. So after you shift your mindset from just income to options, the next move is to look at what you already have, because many people are sitting on something valuable, but they have not recognized it yet. All right, so move number 2 is this: identify what you already have that can create value. This is where a lot of people overlook themselves. They assume that if they are going to start a side hustle, a business, or another stream of income, they have to go find some brand new ideas. They think they have to do what everybody else is doing. They see someone online selling a product, so they think they need to sell that product. They see someone starting a certain type of business, so they think, maybe this is what I need to do too. They hear someone say, this is the best business to start, or this is where the money is. And now they are chasing ideas that may not be connected to who they are, what they know, what they have experienced, or what they are actually equipped to do. But here's what I want you to consider. You may already be sitting on something valuable. You may have knowledge that someone else needs. You may have experience that someone else would pay to learn from. You may have a skill that solves a real problem. You may have a process, a system, a testimony, a background, a professional ability, or a personal journey that can help somebody get clarity, save time, avoid mistakes, or move forward. And sometimes we overlook what is familiar to us because it feels normal. You may say, well, I've been doing that for years. Exactly. That may be why it has value. You may say, well, this just comes easy to me. Exactly. That may be the very thing someone else is struggling with. You may say, well, I don't really have a business idea. Maybe you do not need to start with a business idea. Maybe you need to start with asking, what problems do I know how to solve? Because people do not just pay for ideas, they pay for solutions. They pay for clarity, they pay for guidance, they pay for support, they pay for transformation. They pay for help getting from where they are to where they want or need to be. So instead of asking, what business should I start? Ask yourself, what do people already come to me for? What do I know how to explain well? What have I overcome that could help someone else? What skills have I developed in my job, career, business, ministry, or life experience? What problems can I help someone solve? What do I know now that I wish I had known earlier? Those questions matter because they help you stop chasing random opportunities and start recognizing what God has already placed in your hands. Once you identify what you already have, the next step is not trying to build everything at once. That is where people get overwhelmed. So the third move is about starting with one clear option. The third move is this: build one option before you try to build five. This is where people get overwhelmed. They hear start a business or build another income stream, and immediately their mind goes to websites, logos, LLCs, social media, funnels, products, courses, coaching, consulting, content, ads, email lists, and everything else. And before they even start, they're exhausted. But I want to simplify this. You do not have to build an empire this week. You do not have to have everything figured out. You do not need 5 offers, 5 platforms, 5 products, or 5 streams of income before you make your first move. Start with one skill, one problem, one audience, one offer, one next step. Because one clear option is better than 10 scattered ideas. And for many working professionals, the first goal should not be, how do I quit my job as fast as possible? The first goal should be, how do I build another option wisely? That may look like creating a small service offer. It may look like coaching someone through something you know well. It may look like consulting based on your professional experience. It may look like packaging your knowledge into a simple digital product, training, workshop, or guide. It may look like taking something you already do well and learning how to turn it into something people can actually pay for. But start with one, because when you build one option, you begin to build confidence. When you build one option, you begin to see what people respond to. When you build one option, you begin to develop the muscle of creating value outside of your paycheck. And that is powerful because you are no longer waiting on someone else to give you an opportunity. You are learning how to create one. And this brings me to a deeper point. Freedom is not just about money. Yes, money matters, income matters, revenue matters, paying bills matters, saving matters, debt matters. All of that matters. But freedom is bigger than money. Freedom is having choices. Freedom is having room to breathe. Freedom is having the ability to make decisions from wisdom instead of fear. Freedom is being able to say, I have options. Freedom is not feeling trapped by one paycheck, one schedule, one voice, one employer, one contract, one customer, or even one opportunity. Freedom is being able to think differently about your future because you are not depending on only one source to sustain you. And this is why I believe building options is not just a business conversation. It is a stewardship conversation because God gives us gifts. God gives us skills. God gives us wisdom. God gives us experiences. God gives us the ability to learn, to grow, to create, to serve, to build, to solve problems. Sometimes we're praying for provision, and God is trying to show us what He has already given us. Sometimes we're waiting for something to come from the outside, but God is trying to develop something that is already on the inside. Sometimes the opportunity is not hidden because God has not released it. Sometimes it is hidden because we have not recognized it, valued it, or taken the time to develop it. So I want to encourage you today. Do not despise what is in your hands. Do not overlook your experience. Do not minimize your knowledge. Do not assume that because something comes naturally to you, it has no value. Do not wait until a crisis forces you to build options. Start now. Start while you're still working. Start while you still have income. Start while you can make wise decisions. Start before you are desperate. Start before frustration causes you to move recklessly. Start with clarity. Start with prayer. Start with wisdom. Start with one step. Because one paycheck should not be your whole plan. Your job may be part of the plan, but it is not the whole plan. And if this message is hitting home for you, I created a free training called The 7 Biggest Mistakes Keeping You Trapped in the 9 to 5 Paycheck Cycle. In that training, I'll walk through some of the common mistakes that keep working professionals stuck, overwhelmed, and overly dependent on one paycheck. And I help you start thinking through what it looks like to build more freedom, more options, and more income without moving recklessly. So check the link in the description or comment free, and I'll point you to the training. And remember, you do not have to quit your job to start building freedom, but you do need to stop treating one paycheck like it's your only plan. I'm Chiquita Robertson, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, guys, I hope this video has been a blessing to someone. And until next time, you all be blessed.